right? Robbery. I got robbed. Everybody, I got robbed. I'm calling 911. I got robbed. Right? Somebody broke in your car. Okay, didn't get robbed. Burglary. Come home. Plasma TV's missing, right? The computer's missing. I got robbed. Right? You go to the store and you leave your purse in the car. Somebody busts the window. I got robbed. Right? Nope. Didn't get robbed. Okay, so the introduction of robbery, there's been robbery since the beginning of time, right? It's one of the 3 most violent crimes against an individual, to be robbed. I mean, you are personally attacked. And most robberies were committed on the streets or highways. And robbery definitely poses a hazard to law enforcement, right? So here's a uniform crime report that talks about Al Capone is the first person who was charged for robbery, right? So that was the one the FBI notified for robbery here, okay? So here we go. I would say if I saw this going down in a bank, this would probably be a good indication of a robbery, right? It's a felonious taking of another's property. So you have to take some type of property worth something, right? So if they take this is your property, right? This is yours. It's worth something, right? You paid money for it. If they take it by force or fear, that's robbery. Either directly from the person or in that person's presence, right? So meaning that if it's on your presence, on your person, right? Taken physically from your person or in your presence means around you, right? If I'm driving down the street, I stop at a stop sign, some thug runs up with me with a 12 gauge, points it in my face, racks around, right? Reaches in and takes my purse. That's a robbery, right? It's in your presence. It's not in your body, but it's in your presence, all right? Through force or intimidation, right? Force or intimidation, either orally demanding it or no, right? Does a person have to say anything in order to commit the robbery? No, right? Walking right up to you, pointing it right at your face, getting a shotgun, racking around into it, right? And just, it's like, whoa, holy smokes, right? There's a gun. And you automatically give him up your stuff. He doesn't have to say anything to make it a robbery. It's the force of fear in order to make that happen. Wow, that is a small little picture. Let's just fix this here. That's a situation there. What happened there? Again, when you walk into a convenience store, as I'm looking, pumping gas or walking, I'm always looking to see what's going on at the convenience store. However, for whatever reason, the convenience store doesn't think it's really necessary for you to look in the store because as you walk up, look at every single poster that's covering all the windows. It's not till you're on top of the door where you can actually see in what's going on, right? So they cover everything up and before that. So the different categories are residential, commercial, street, and vehicle. All right. So the different classifications of a robbery here. Officers shot at a home invasion robbery where the suspects went to an officer's home and in the home did a home invasion robbery, which is a violation. So the residential, this is the least frequent of them all. Very rare if it happens. Usually if it happens, that means the robber has some idea who they're robbing because they're not just going to go to any Joe Bull's house and hope and pray they have something to rob, okay? And it tends to involve the entire family if something happens. The robbers are also increasing in the rural areas. Why? Why do you think, okay, here's an assignment. I want you to explain to me, why do you think that the home invasion robberies are targeted in rural areas? And I want you to find evidence of any robberies that occur in the farm. So I would Google home invasion robberies, rural area. You can pick out in the farm, something like that, and it'll go over, okay? All right. Wow. Did I use this? Oh, here's a situation. Twice I used this one. Okay. So commercial means it happens at a store. Commercial robbery happens at a store, okay? Usually committed by individuals with criminal records. Very rare does somebody take the time to mask up, go take a gun, go into a store for the first time doing an offense, right? Usually the criminal builds up to this in one way or another. MOs, what's a method of operation? What exactly does a person do once they go in there? Do they go right to the front of the counter? Do they walk around the store? Do they pick a couple items up? What do they do? Like, name the entire scenario of what it is that exactly is going on. All right, classification. We talk about the street crime happens out in the street, right? You're out in the middle of the street, somebody comes by and, by force or fear, doesn't mean they have to produce a weapon. Everybody goes, well, there's no weapon seen. It doesn't mean, well, you're force or fear, right? Hands, feet, and fists, these can be weapons. Absolutely, they can be a weapon, all right? Both the victim and the robber are usually on foot, and usually the speed and surprise happens quick, right? Because there's no situational awareness. When you're in my class all the time, I always have situational awareness drills, okay? I'm not sure if it's this class or the last class that I asked to, when they're driving by somebody, drive by, right? Take a quick pick at them, continue to drive by, and in your mind, try to remember what they look like. Usually people aren't aware because, right, they got the phone trying to figure out what's going on. All right, vehicle driver, Uber drivers, poor guys. These guys are getting robbed left and right. Just trying to make a quick buck, and they're getting robbed left and right. Where taxis, buses, or trucks also fall in this classification. Carjacking, force or fear, where they take the car by force, right? Rip you out of the car, take it by force or fear. Same exact thing. I don't know why they have robbery in here. Because the bank robberies, man, it goes right from carjacking to bank robbery. Okay, so the bank robbery is also the jurisdiction of the FBI. You get people who are notorious bank robbers. They go all over the United States because they don't want to get caught in one area, so they'll go all across the United States. So they think it lessens their chance of getting caught. But however, thank goodness with new computers, we can put all our MO of a bank robber in there, and people are like, oh, I'm looking for that bank robber. Kind of matches the MO and put everything together. All right. So robbery versus larceny. Here's what I want you guys to do as part of this assignment here. Create a scenario. That means you're going to make something up, which tells me the difference, the difference between a robbery and a burglary, okay? So you tell me the difference between a robbery and a burglary, because you should already know all the elements for the robbery, what it takes, and something from a burglary. Even though I think burglary is our next module, look it up in your book so you can identify and create a scenario, write it out, of a robbery and a burglary, okay? So that's a distinct crime. Burglary, there's nobody around. Nobody talks to you. You never see the suspect. There's not any force or fear. They're usually done when nobody's around, okay? So create a scenario. Tell me all about it. All right. The elements of robbery, okay? Looking at this picture here. Boy, I just left the scene here. Looking at this picture here, yes or no, does this meet the elements of robbery? Tell me. You got somebody reaching in, taking something. Tell me what's missing for the element of robbery, okay? You tell me what's missing for the element of robbery there. All right, so let's continue with this module on the next one. All right, catch you guys in a minute. Hold on tight.